All right, everyone, welcome to the On the Line podcast. We hope everyone had a happy holiday and we hope you guys have a happy new year as well. I am your host, Noel Alberto, and here with me is my co host, Oliver Dixon Jafford. Oliver, how was your holiday?
It was great, thank you. How was yours?
Good, good. Did you have a white Christmas over there?
Unfortunately, we had a bit of snow Wednesday, but it wasn't very nice. It had been raining all night, so it didn't
Oh,
settle the
okay.
pavements. It was just slushy. Christmas
Yeah.
Day was fairly mild and rainy. Some people did. I live near in London.
Yeah.
Like North East, there's a bit of snow on Christmas Day, but not for me, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. No snow where I was from. A it was a fairly cold day on Christmas. We'll but yeah, wishing I had a white Christmas as well. But I think our Christmas wish came true, like it does every year. Tennis is right here. We're very excited to get it going. So this will be a two-part series for our 2018 preview. First part, we'll be discussing a little news and some of the tournaments. And then second part, we will be making our predictions and talking about our fantasy team on fantasytennisleague.com as Oliver and I look to be a little more serious about that, make certain picks, and we'll get it going. So I guess we're going to start off with the piece you wrote today for Vavel USA, as you discussed that Novak Djokovic has pulled out of the Abu Dhabi exhibition and replaced by Andy Murray. And as we know, there were concerns about Murray because he delayed his travels to Australia for his preparations for the Australian Open, but he flew to Abu Dhabi to get some practice time in, and his team would decide, hey, if you feel well, you're going to play in Brisbane. But now, hey, you're feeling well, you're going to replace Novak.
Yeah, it's a strange situation. It's a complete coincidence that Andy is out in Dubai practicing. It. This wasn't planned or anything. The intention was for Djokovic to play and for Murray to practice with some of the other people out there. Unfortunately and worryingly, Djokovic is having a pain in his right elbow, and that's obviously the injury which has been bothering him for around 18 months now, ever since his French Open triumph. Obviously, we know things haven't been right since then. He obviously hasn't played since his Wimbledon quarter-final match. And, it is concerning considering everything seemed okay with him. He seemed like he was physically fine, that he was ready to play in Doha next week and the Australian Open. So there's some concern there. But on the flip side of that, Andy is feeling ready enough to play the match. Obviously, it's not a tour level match, taken fairly seriously. And considering,
Very seriously.
He delayed his trip to Brisbane. There's been a lot of doubts in the British media about whether he'd be able to play at the Australian Open. So I think whilst there's now big concerns surrounding Djokovic, just as there is with quite a other players, I think the concerns for Murray have maybe gone down a little bit and a bit more encouragement.
Oh, yeah. So concerns for Murray have shrugged off, but concerns for Djokovic and his camp rises, and that Djokovic won't be the only big name who's in some trouble with injuries. We have Nadal, Wawrinka, we have Songa, Nishikori. So that's five big draws right there that have huge question marks ahead of Australia.
Yeah, and it is extremely concerning because the tournament is going to be stronger if there's more big names there. Obviously, Federer and Nadal are still the big draws, and still bigger draws than the likes of Murray and Djokovic. But for most people, it would be disappointing if it's just them two as the only notable names there. Obviously, it would leave opportunities to other players, but at the same time, we all hope that everyone who to be there is going to be there fit and healthy and hopefully make it an exciting tournament.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Okay, so hopefully we have Djokovic and Nadal, Nishikori, etc. are all healthy headed into Australia, because it'd be very gutting to see a depleted Australian Open draw, especially after all the injuries that took a hit on players in 2017. But another piece of news we have is Marion Bartoli has announced she's coming out of retirement, and she will be aiming to start her season at the Miami Open.
Yeah, this was a real surprise to me. I know there'd been a couple of rumours that she was considering returning, much of it. When she retired in 2013, I think just something like 40 days after she won Wimbledon, she talked about how, she'd put her body through so much pain in the past 2 years, and that how Wimbledon was like her golden moment. And then once she kind of felt that she didn't need to prove anything anymore. So I think this is more of maybe something of like just for personal fulfillment. Obviously, I think it was last year she obviously had that nasty viral illness that caused her to lose a lot of weight. She obviously spent time in hospital. She's come back, obviously, this year working for TV, and she's worked for ITV and Eurosport in this country. Healthier and happier. Just in a good place personally now, considering what's happened. Feels she wants to miss out, and that she'll regret it if she doesn't at least try. And in a way that she's done it realistically, she isn't trying to come back right at the beginning of the season. She's leaving it a few months. Obviously, as a former slam champion, she's likely to get wild cards if she is able to come back. It'd be fun to see her back in court.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see her too. I'm really interested to see how she'll be moving-wise because, like you said, she's lost a lot of weight. I know she had the viral illness, but she's kept the weight off. She looks a lot healthier now. Her body looks a lot fitter. So once she gets into the groove of things, I think she'll surprise us. Like, I feel that she could go on a good run in some of these events, and who knows, like you said, unlimited wild cards. We don't know what to expect, but I feel like she could maybe snag a title somewhere this year, like Sharapova did last year.
Yeah, I think maybe, I know she said she wants to win another Grand Slam title. I think that might be pushing it a little bit. It's a possibility like an international title maybe she could take if she gets a wild card and it's an open draw. Obviously, the WTA was crazily open last year. I can't see that changing massively this year. So if Serena and Maria do come back to their best, to see if she is able to come back, how many opportunities she would get in terms of wild cards, and if she's able to build up enough points to not rely on them by the end of the season. So yeah, I'm interested. Just even if she doesn't, win any tournaments, I think if she wants to get back in court, that's something we should all be happy about.
Yeah, she's definitely a good personality. People loved her, especially after everything that's gone on. But I feel that she'll be definitely nice to see her back on tour. And then the last piece of news, which we hate to keep bringing up, but is the fact that Victoria Azarenka, she was given a wild card to the ASP Classic, given a wild card to the Australian Open, but looks like she'll be stuck in California continuing her custody battle for her son Leo with her, the father of the baby.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, she obviously has to do that. She obviously has to do what she's doing. It's incredibly unfortunate, though, able to return. And I do believe that she will be back at some point in the season. I don't know, obviously, there's no way she's going to be playing at the Australian Open. I know she's got a wild card, and yet I'd be incredibly surprised if she does play there going on. Things are sorted out quickly, she's able to get back because she deserves to be able to play.
Yeah, she deserves to play. I think she'll be back at some point this season too. I'm thinking more middle of the year towards like French Wimbledon time, kind of like when Petra came back after her thing last year, but after her tragic thing last year. But this is obviously a different circumstance, a lot of legal processes that have to play out. But it's just such a shame that two-time champion and still dealing with this. Like, she missed out on the U.S. Open. She missed out on a Fed Cup final in her home country. She's missed out on a lot, and she's just going to miss out on even more.
It's incredibly unfortunate. Obviously, we don't know how much longer the process will be, and obviously the process needs to be respected, and obviously she clearly is respecting it by the fact she is abiding to the rules that have been set out. And it can be a lengthy process, so we just need to leave things at the moment, appreciate that she is going to be gone a while, as disappointing as that is. And, she will be back. She's only 28, I think. Obviously, we see, people playing into their mid-late 30s now. Hopefully, things will be sorted in the next few months, and hopefully she'll be back again this season.
Yeah, so hopefully Azarenka and everything plays out fine for her. All right, so now we move on to we don't have the draws yet, so we're just going to briefly talk about the tournaments and what's going on in there. So we're going to start off with the Doha tournament, where Djokovic is the defending champion, and obviously, we brought up his injury concern. We had Jo-Wilfried Tsonga pull out of the event, but some notable names on here are Dominic Thiem, Richard Gasquet, Tomas Berdych, Pablo Carreño Busta, and Feliciano Lopez, and obviously Fernando Verdasco. So, what are you looking for in this event in Doha?
It's going to be quite open, I feel. Obviously, it's doubtful that Djokovic should be there now. And I think if he'd been fit, he probably would have been the favourite for the title, despite the fact he hasn't played in so long. But, I mean, if you have a look at, you've mentioned, Dominic Thiem is there, you mentioned Pablo Carreño Busta's there. Neither of them two finished this season strongly after the US Open, and they both lost in the Abu Dhabi exhibition. Thiem lost earlier today to Kevin Anderson in straight sets. Carreño Busta lost to Anderson yesterday. So I think those two would be looking to set out a statement, but at the same time, they are. Well, anyone in that field you mentioned, like Verdasco there, he beat Djokovic last year in the semi-finals, held 4 match points, I think. And obviously, you said Gasquet there. Gasquet is another one with concerns as he fully recovered from his injury troubles, which blighted him last year. It's really open if you compare to the past few years where you had, Djokovic beat Murray in the final last year. You've had the likes of Nadal and Federer play there in the past. So it's going to be interesting. It's a big opportunity because, I believe it's a 500 event.
It's I think it's a 250.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 250.
Yeah. All the warm-ups are 250s.
Yeah, that's my mistake. Yeah, still an opportunity for someone ahead of the Australian Open. So it could really be anyone. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and then a couple other players I haven't even mentioned are the likes of Filip Krajinovic, who went on that magical run in Paris last year to vault his ranking up. He's now 34 in the rankings, and then young gun Andrei Rublev, 39. So I know Rublev lost yesterday to Bautista Agut in Abu Dhabi, but could be a chance for one of these two to get a nice title headed into Australia.
Yeah, exactly. And also thinking about it, I mean, this is obviously going to be huge in terms of seedings, especially Krajinovic, obviously 34th, so close to being seeded in Melbourne. If he can get up a couple of wins, he'll probably make it in there. So it's going to be huge across all the tournaments.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on having a lack of withdrawals, just missing out on seeding. So a couple of wins for Krajinovic, like you said, should see him through.
Yeah, I mean that's why the opportunity is there for someone maybe unexpected to win. I mean, obviously it's only 250 points, but that's a big tournament because it attracts big names.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an opportunity for someone not only to get some points, potentially get into seedings or a better seeded position, but also to make a name for themselves ahead of the long season coming up.
Oh yeah. All right. The next tournament is the Maharashtra Open, which replaces the Chennai Open, and top four seeds aren't so decent. Yeah, Marin Cilic, Kevin Anderson, Roberto Bautista Agut, and Robin Haase, but severely drops off after that with Yuri Vesely, Mikhail Kukushkin, Pierre Hughes, Herbert, and then Martin Fucsovics as the last four seeds. And as of right now, not much we know, but Anderson has to be the favorite with how he's been playing so far in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was talking about, Team and Credit Bista in terms of Doha. They didn't finish the season strongly. Anderson didn't finish the season strongly after reaching the US Open final, but he has looked impressive in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, it's just an exhibition tournament. Maybe not too much could be read into it. But, looking sharp, good win against Team today. So, obviously won yesterday as well against Kenya Bista, who he beat in the US Open semi-final. So I think there's an opportunity for him there. Obviously, Cilic didn't start last season well. Obviously, he could start well this season, but you don't know. But yeah, I think there's a potential opening for him. I think another title under his belt, considering how well he did to come back up the rankings last season, would be a huge confidence booster. And, with all the injury concerns heading into the Australian Open, could set him up for another big run in Melbourne.
Yeah, and it's not like I believe he's made a quarterfinal in Australia before. Gonna quickly. Fourth round. Yeah, so the fourth round Titan. But I feel like, this could set up another huge run for him. And I think Melbourne does play a little faster, which suits his serve a little better.
Yeah, I mean, with or without a good one, I still think he'll be a danger man. Obviously, decent seeding to US Open final last year. Big serve, which is always difficult to break down. But, with how sharp he's playing with the injury concerns, obviously we hope, as we discussed earlier on, that the likes of Murray and Djokovic and Nishikori, etc., will all be fit. The chances are there's at least going to be one or two of them that are fortunately unable to do so. And that does open the field up. And if someone is going to come through and take maybe a maiden Grand Slam title, who's made a final before, like him.
Yeah, now that he's had that final experience, nerves won't be kicking in as much. So I think he'll definitely play a lot better if he does go that deep. All right, so now move on to Brisbane, where the field is absolutely loaded. Not as loaded as it was before. We had Rafael Nadal, Kei Nishikori pull out, but we have the likes of Dimitrov, Nito ATP Finals champion, Murray, Kyrgios, Milos Raonic is back, looks healthy, and we know what he's capable of doing in Australia. Gilles Muller, Diego Schwartzman. It's a very good field.
Yeah, it is a very good field. I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, Dimitrov won the title, obviously, last season, and obviously that set him up for a big year overall. So it's going to be interesting to see how he fares. I think there's a lot of pressure on him this year to at least back up what he did last year, potentially even challenge for a slam. So it's going to be interesting to see how he copes there. Obviously, Raonic coming back, there's less doubts about him, as you said, than there is about the others. And obviously, won the title at Brisbane in 2016, beat Federer in the final that year, beat Nadal in the quarterfinals in Brisbane last year. So obviously plays well there. He's a danger. Obviously, it looks like Murray's back fit, or potentially fit. So I'm interested to see how he goes, especially considering he's only played maximum 2 matches in Abu Dhabi. It will be his full comeback, effectively.
Yeah.
And obviously, someone like Kyrgios as well. He had a lot of injury trouble last year. Had his ups and downs as usual. But interested to see how he fares. It's good. Yeah, it's good. I think that's the most interesting of all of the ATP tournaments because there's so many notable names.
Yeah, usually it usually is more of the more interesting of the 3 events because it's already down in Australia, so there's no travel time allotted for compared to playing in Pude or Pune, don't know the pronunciation. I think it's one of those two, or Doha. So not much travel time after the event, and then most of these players, bar some of the lowest ranked ones, maybe in like between the low 30s and below, they usually go straight to Melbourne. The rest are gonna play in like Sydney, maybe Auckland, something like that. All right, now we move on to the Hopman Cup. So this obviously team event, and the number one seed, the United States, we all know their superstar. No, it's not Jack Sock. It is Coco Vandeweghe, the star of team and ITF events. And this is one of them. And I feel like this is where she could start, but we'll break it down by group. So we have Group A, Germany, Belgium, Canada, Australia. So Canada is comprised of Eugenie Bouchard and Vasek Pospisil. Belgium is Elise Mertens and David Goffin. Germany is Angelique Kerber and Sasha Zverev. And Australia is Dasha Gavrilova and Tanasi Kakinakis. So because the draws aren't out yet, with the Hopman Cup being the only draw out, we're not going to make our picks here, but what are you looking for from Group A as a potential standout for you?
Well, I mean, there's 4 very exciting teams. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch that group. But the name that stands out for me the most there is Angelique Kerber. Obviously, Hopman Cup is just an exhibition. But obviously, she had a dreadful 2017 season after obviously finishing 2016 as the world number 1 and 2-time Grand Slam champion. I feel that she could rebound this year, maybe not back up to winning slams, but certainly get back in the top 10. So I'm going to be looking at how she goes. And obviously, in partnership between her and Sasha Zverev. I'm looking at all of them as well, but also David Goffin obviously had a big 2017 season. Is he able to back it up as well? So it'd be interesting to see how he fares in that group.
I think for me, I'm going to go the other Belgian, Elise Mertens. Obviously, she had a huge last couple, I think a season and a half, jumping up the rankings. But I think this 2018 is going to be her breakout season. And I think she'll be winning 2-3 titles, maybe one just like a normal premier event, couple internationals, and then maybe making a deep, probably second week of a Grand Slam. So I think Elise Mertens is my player to watch out for in this group. And then obviously, just like you mentioned from the men's side, it'd be her. Also, young player Tanasi Kakinakis, a lot of injury problems the last couple of seasons, but we've seen the level when he's played against the likes of like Berdych, and I believe it was Los Cabos. Like you could see that the level of his game is still high, but injuries obviously have taken a toll. So would like to see him doing well ahead of the Australian Open. And then Group B, we have United States, Russia, Japan, Switzerland. So the United States is Coco Vandeweghe, Jack Sock. Russia is Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova and Karen Khachanov. Japan is Naomi Osaka and Yuichi Sugita. And then Switzerland, who are obviously the favorites, not just this group, but the whole tournament, are Belinda Bencic and Roger Federer. So what are you looking for ahead in Group B?
The big talking point in that group and the whole tournament, like you said, is Switzerland. Quite interesting to see how Belinda Bencic does. Obviously, she made her return after some injury problems on the ITF last season. And did very well. He went on and picked up a couple of titles. So it'll be interesting to see how she is going. It's going to be interesting to see how Federer's going as well. Obviously, much from him in terms of the off-season. We assume he's fit and healthy. The fact he is in Perth suggests that. But I think could be primed for a big comeback this year and potentially finish the year back in the top 30, maybe even higher.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she's back already inside the top 100. I believe she's in the 70s, around the 70-80 mark. So obviously she's the informed player, but now she'll be going up against quality opponents in Vandaway, in Pavlyuchenkova, in Osaka. So I think you took it right from me that she'll be the one we also want to watch for. But I think I also want to look at Naomi Osaka. She split up with David Taylor, who's now working with Yelena Ostapenko. But now she is working with Sasha Bajin, the former hitting partner of Wozniacki and Serena Williams. And this is Bajin's first player that he'll be really – he's the head guy. He'll be the head coach.
Yeah, it's interesting. If she had a bit of an up and down year, so it'd be interesting to see how Sasha is able to work with her. We all know she's got a lot of talent. We obviously saw her home tournament back in 2016, obviously in the first round of the US Open last year. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to bring more consistency to her game, because she does go through patches of poor form and patches of good form. An exciting partnership, I feel. And obviously, this is not an official tour event, but the signs could be there of something, whether it's a good partnership or not.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I think it'll take a couple months, maybe like 2-3 months to see how it really is beginning to play out. But I feel that he's worked with elite level players with Wozniacki and Serena. I feel like he could maybe like give her a touch of not a touch of gold. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but he'll definitely improve her. But I think it'll take just more than him. Maybe it'll be him and like a few other people along the way to help her get to where she can realize her potential.
Yeah, maybe. I think the fact he has so much experience, obviously being Serena's hitting partner, and obviously having worked with Victoria Azarenka, Caroline Wozniacki, part of it. So, first coaching job, he might need like some help in that adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be interesting either way. I think it could work because obviously Wozniacki doesn't play like that, but Osaka's obviously a big hitter like a Serena or an Azarenka. Yeah. It'd be interesting.
All right, so now Hopman Cup is done. Now we move on to our quick snippets of each tournament. So we're going to start with Shenzhen, where Simona Halep, world number 1, is going to be starting her event. We also have the likes of Yelena Ostapenko, Kristina Pliskova, and then Maria Sharapova and Zheng Shui. So those are the notable names. So Oliver, what are you looking for here in Shenzhen?
Well, I think obviously you mentioned Simona Halep's there, obviously is there, Maria Sharapova's there. I think they're all one people to keep an eye on, especially Sharapova. Obviously finished the season with a title in Tianjin. Obviously lost in Moscow after that, but that's an encouraging end, getting back into the winner's circle. You see, big opportunity here. I would really like at one point early on the season to see the Sharapova-Ostapenko matchup. That would be so much fun to watch. That would just create huge interest. So that might happen. We don't know, but I think in terms of Halep and Ostapenko, obviously big seasons for both of them. But Ostapenko has the pressure of backing that up and progressing. Halep has that pressure of people wanting her to finally win a slam.
Yeah.
And back-to-back first-round losses at the Australian Open in the past 2 editions of it. So I think there's some pressure heading into that. It's going to be interesting to see how she goes. She can obviously lose the world number 1 ranking this week as well to either Garbina Muguruza, who's in Brisbane, or Caroline Wozniacki, who's in Auckland. So it's going to be interesting to see how she deals with the pressure of that, because there are occasions potentially for the Australian Open, and how she deals in head of the Australian Open in general with the pressure of and expectation of her winning a slam title.
Yeah, I feel like if it's not the next 2 years for Simona, it's never going to happen. I mean, people say that a lot, and then people end up doing it like, Murray and Stan and like et cetera, et cetera. But I feel like you're right. Halep is going to be a huge draw. But I want to see how Sharapova does. You did mention the Tianjin title. Not the best in her home tournament in Moscow, but I feel this will be her first full season back. I think this could be a kind of stepping stone to see how she does for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, her draws early on were difficult because she's so low ranked. But obviously, she didn't start the season until late April. Had a lot of injury trouble as well early on. To finish inside the top 16 was an encouraging sign. Fit and healthy, I can't see why she wouldn't necessarily make it back to the top 10 again. Plays well. Obviously, she has been susceptible to stay injury free. She could be primed for a big year.
Oh yeah,
I think the opportunity is there to win a Grand Slam. Maybe pushing it a little bit. I think maybe next season, when she's fully back into the swing of things, it might be possible. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how she goes. I think anything's possible, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. So we move on from Shenzhen to the ASB Classic, where we have the two end-of-the-year champions as the top two seeds, and Caroline Wozniacki, the WTA Finals champion, and Julia Gerges, the Zhuhai champion, as the top two seeds. But then we have some names who have performed well in the ASB Classic before, but they usually just perform well in Auckland and maybe like a couple other tournaments, but nowhere else. We have Marcin Brangle, we have Varvara Lipchenko, Monica Puig, and then as some of those names who perform fairly well here in Auckland, but third seed is Barbara Streisova, fourth seed is Radwanska. So what are you looking for here in Auckland for the women as they get ready?
I think obviously how like Wozniacki and Gorgeous go. So they both had big seasons, and it was in fact best ever season, career high 14th titles in Moscow and Zhuhai to end the season. Picking her as a potential dark horse in Australia and the slams in general, which is interesting. She's able to keep up that form, and that's obviously a possibility if the draw opens up. So we'll have to see if she can progress or if last year was, her peak. In terms of Wozniacki, I think it's a similar situation to Simona Halep. Obviously, a lot of people are thinking it's, like you said, for Halep, you said it's potentially next two seasons. I think you probably could say the same for Wozniacki as well in terms of winning a slam title. Obviously, she could potentially be world number one at the end of the week if she wins the title in Auckland and results for Halep and Muguruza go her way. But also, you mentioned Radwanska. She obviously had a really poor. Can she rebuild? I know she obviously had some injury trouble, but in general, she just played quite badly at some stages. So I think it's those three that are free to watch.
Yeah, I think to add to that, I want to look at Marketa Vondrasova, 18-year-old, made a huge breakthrough last year. Started the season ranked 376 and then reached the career high of 61 by October. Has the title in Beal, and I feel like this could be a huge for her if run to the semis or maybe final or title, and she'll have momentum headed into Australia. I mean, no one would want to play her knowing how she can play, but if she's coming off a title and huge confidence booster like this, I think no one will really want to play Vondrasova.
Yeah, obviously she had a big breakthrough last year, obviously winning that title in Beal and ranked 234th, I believe. Made the top 100 after that, really motivated up the rankings. One of the biggest breakthrough stars of last year. So it will be interesting to see how she fares. I don't think she had many tour points to defend.
No.
Obviously, I know the tournament she won last year has moved. It'd be interesting how she fares. Yeah, she could be dangerous because she's really got a lot of potential. She's playing well.
Oh yeah, I mean, we'll see how she goes along. I mean, not that many points to defend, so obviously she can only go up. I mean, you could go can technically go down if everyone else is doing well, but yeah, I mean, nothing but the sky's the limit for Vondrasova right now. But now we move on to the last tournament. So we go back to Brisbane in Australia, and boy, if you thought the ATP was loaded, guys, this is super loaded for the women. Let me just read you this list: Garbina Muguruza, Karolina Pliskova, Alina Svitolina, Caroline Garcia, Johanna Konta, Kristina Mladenovic, Anastasia Sevastova, Ashley Barty, Madison Keys, Daria Kasatkina, Petra Kvitova, and then lower down on the list we have Samantha Stosur, Anna Kanya, Cece Bellis. So loaded. I don't think loaded is even a good enough word to describe this tournament in Brisbane for the women.
It's an incredible field, and it's hard to look at just a few people when there's so many big names there. As I mentioned, Muguruza is in contention for number one ranking.
Yep.
Getting it from Halep if results go her way. She has to make the final at least, but there's still an opportunity there. Could be big heading into the melt.
Right?
Yeah, Pliskova defending champion. Ashley Barty as well had a really big 2017 season. Back playing at home. Will she be able to get going? She's someone, there's some people saying is potential contender for the title at the Australian Open. Could be huge. But obviously Madison Keys as well. Obviously didn't play amazingly well after the US Open final, which she reached. Obviously ended that year due to injury. She's back on tour. How will she go? It's just a lot to talk about. Obviously Caroline Garcia plays so well during the final stages of the season. Is she going to be able to keep that momentum up? So it's just really everyone there is something you can always talk about for everyone. So it's going to be extremely interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's just too much to delve into with like so many players. Like you could talk about Konta, her end of season struggles, Mladenovic, her end of season struggles. So this is Kvitova's first full season back after her incident that happened last year. So it's so many storylines. But that will end the first part of our pod. We'll be back after a short break, and we will talk about our very, very wrong predictions for the Grand Slams, Masters, and then the Cup, and then the Davis and Fed Cup, and then obviously for the women, it's their premier events, and then our top 10, and then awards. So yeah, this will be fun. It'll be wrong, but it will be fun. Ooh. I don't think that was that long.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's see. So what should I have for lunch?
I don't know what you got. Like, could you go out or do you have stuff at home?
I mean, like I live with my aunt. Like they usually make stuff, but they're more prepping for New Year's, so not really like keen on like disturbing their preparation. I mean, they do have bagels and like bread and sandwiches. They do have microwavable food, but I'm thinking of it just going out. I was put in our chat Mexican food or burger and fries for my food for that. I don't eat till 1 because I do a fasting thing called intermittent fasting where I drink a gallon of water a day and I take in my calories from a 10-hour window only instead of throughout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've lost weight due to it, but I think I'm thinking either Mexican food like Chipotle, get like a couple burrito bowls, and then that'll hold me down for tonight or for lunch, and then tonight, or then get a burger and French fries. I was thinking about going to Five. Do you guys have Five Guys there?
I don't think we do. I've heard of it. I think it's like American TV shows.
Oh yeah.
I think like London, I bet.
Yeah, like
Five
it's
Guys.
pretty big here. It's like they have pretty big
Yeah.
burgers, but the fries are like the
Oh,
set.
there's one in a place not far from me. I stand
Oh,
corrected. Yeah, there's a
oh,
couple in
oh wow.
one in Central. Yeah. So yeah, I first completely partied by Five Guys UK. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like, I mean, their selling point is the free peanuts if you're not allergic. So they just have like peanuts that you can crack and just eat there whilst waiting.
Mm.
But there's also
Oh, yeah.
the French fries. So it's like you order a regular like just a regular French fry, but then they dump a lot more French fries in your bag.
Mm.
So it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
if you love or chips for you guys, if you love chips, then you'd love that place.
There's actually so many. Five. I didn't even have a clue. There's actually pushing like 50, 60 odd in like the UK.
Oh wow. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously there's like the classic Burger King and McDonald's there. So
Mm. Yeah, McDonald's and Burger King huge, just like everything.
yeah, I know in over there in the UK they have something that they don't have here called the McDonald's Signature Collection, where it's like I don't know what it is, but it tastes a lot better. Like I was talking to other UK friends in like an FPL chat, and they said, "Oh, it tastes a lot better than the regular things off the menu." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I wish we had that here."
I haven't been to McDonald's in ages. I used to go quite a lot, like weekly, but since at uni, I've barely been. So, and since like my brother used to do like his football thing, we used to go every week after that. That
Yeah.
started a few years ago. So I'm not really up to date. And obviously, since I've been at uni, I've watched less TV, so I've seen less adverts and stuff.
Oh, you see, it's this. It's so like the opposite here. Like if you're in like college here, you don't want to like if you don't want dorm or like school food, and you just go to McDonald's. Like I went to McDonald's more because of college than I have in like any other 4 year span of my life.
Yeah, I mean,
It was
there's a
like,
couple like takeaways I go to sometimes at uni.
I mean, like most people have it for like, oh, we're gonna go out tonight, like go out, like you know, have a drink or something, and we don't want to spend the money on like bar food, so we'll eat at McDonald's because it's cheaper and probably tastes better. It probably
Yeah.
tastes the same as bar food. Oh my god! All right, so is your team up?
I've got my team. Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not sure. It's a slight issue due to the fact that I had it's logging out. I currently have Djokovic as my captain, which might need to change.
Oh wait, you want cheap for your captain? Well, cheap-ish, like unless you moved.
Who do you have here?
Well, I had Nadal, but then I
Oh,
so I
yeah.
I was either gonna do Nadal, Serena, or Federer, but I'm sticking to my guns. I still think Nadal will do well. I think he just needs to get through the first few rounds and he'll be fine. Just avoid like getting drawn like someone like I don't know Verdasco or something. But I also have Djokovic and Murray in my team, so hopefully I do have my team originally was I think eight ATP players because of how the scoring works. Because the men play best 3 of 5. The extra set is like extra points.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. I think I've got. I currently have. currently have an even split 4-4.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. I have 5. Yeah, I have 5 and 3, but I have no bench. But I'm planning to like get rid of some of these like people after. Like maybe drop the dog because he rarely plays in February. Pick him back up at another time.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how the system works yet. I'm gonna have to have a proper look, but I'm fairly at the moment.
Yeah, I just know everyone has Belinda Bencic because 2.2 million for a top 10 level player is absolutely absurd. I mean, that's only because she didn't play in 2017.
Yeah, I have bench, which I need to try. So I want to try and move her into my team, maybe.
Yeah, Bencic is absolutely huge. I mean, Bouchard, she's like 3 million, but I'll wait to get her.
Bouchard as well. Bouchard is more than Bencic, which surprises me. Bouchard is 3.28, Bencic is only 2.19.
It's only because Bouchard actually played in 2017.
Oh yeah.
And like she did have like what the win over Maria, an extra million on that. Yeah, because she plays, even though she loses, she still accumulates points. So unlike Bencic, who only played for like a month, and some of the events they don't count towards the fantasy tennis score, so that's why she's so low. Which makes sense. All right. Okay, I have the calendars up. I have my team up. I'm ready to be wrong. Oh man, when we look at these back when we start our 2019 preview pod, oh, this is going to be so fun.
Let's not.
Or like after the Australian Open, I already swear we're gonna say someone different to win Australia than who we are in our next pod when we preview our Australian Open, because we'll see the draw and we'll be like, oh, okay, this is wrong.
Yeah, I mean, once like Australian Open, we have like Dennis Istomin and like I don't know, Bouchard as our champions. We'll look back and be like, what?
Oh yeah, that'll be the time when Istomin and Bouchard win, like both win at the same song. Boy, that'd be something. All right. So let's get going with our very, very wrong predictions. All right, guys, welcome to the On the Line podcast. This is part 2 of our 2018 preview. So if you listened to part 1, thank you for listening. If you haven't, go ahead and listen to it as we talk about some of the tournaments that will be taking place to start the season, as well as some of the news of Djokovic pulling out of Abu Dhabi. We have Marion Bartoli's return to tennis, and then Victoria Azarenka most likely not playing in the Australian Open because of her custody battle. But yes, here are our 2018 predictions, which will be very wrong. We'll probably have a different Australian Open champion now compared to 2 weeks from now when we actually see the draw, and we're just going to laugh because we're dumb and everyone in our top 10 is going to be wrong. We're going to have a tennis utopian society where Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, Murray, Zverev, Cilic, Nishikori, Raonic Wawrinka will all fall out of the top 100, and we'll just look up. No, I'm kidding. But Oliver, are you ready for these predictions?
Ready as I'll ever be, I think.
All right. So we will start with, obviously, so here's how we'll do it. We're going to do a little breakdown. So we're going to do the Grand Slams, pick our winners on each side. We're going to then do the Masters events, and then the Premier events for the women, the Davis and Fed Cup, and then we will do our top 10 and then certain awards like Player of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Breakthrough of the Year, and I guess Biggest Disappointment. Obviously, we can't predict a match of the year, though that'd be quite a scene. Then would be Noel Stradamus and Ollie Stradamus to do that. But yes, we will start in the Australian Open, Melbourne, Australia. Who is your men's champion in Melbourne Park?
I've played it fairly safe and I've picked Federer.
Boo. Safe. What's wrong with you? All right. I'm going already out on a limb here because he already pulled out of a warm-up. But I am going Novak Djokovic as your Australian Open champion for the men. So, and we'll see if I stick to my guns, and Oliver does when the draw comes out. But those are our first picks. And for the women, who is your Australian Open champion?
It's a tough one. I've gone for Pliskova. It's hard to call for the WTA. It could literally be anyone. But I don't know. I think she's on to win a major. Obviously, being world number 1 last year, and I think her game is suited to the courts of fairly fast. So I think
You actually took my pick. I was also going Pliskova. So those are our first round one done. Djokovic, Federer, Pliskova, Pliskova. Not Christina, Carolina. Carolina. All right. French Open. I think we have this down on lock, but I'm going Nadal for the men.
it's hard
All
to
right.
go against Nadal.
All right. For the women, I am going Elina Svitolina.
I could see that, but I picked Muguruza.
Oh, okay. So she claims a second French Open title for you. And then I have a first-time winner on my side. Okay. So that'd be, what did they call it when Madrid won their 11th? La una décima or something like that?
No.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's an 11, still remarkable. 11 of anything. All right. 12. Oh, no. I'll jump into 2019, thinking about a 12th French Open for Nadal potentially. All right. Wimbledon. This Federer do in Australia, England double for you and get to 21.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
A lot could change by that point, but that's my early instinct.
My early instinct is I say we have a first-time champion in Dimitrov. I love being bold, and then I'm gonna get absolutely lambasted on tennis Twitter for all these picks. Like when I got blasted for Bouchard Sharapova #1 match of the year. No, Don Hahn had it, so it wasn't me first. Quote it. Okay. U.S. Open. Okay. Oh wait, no, the women. All right, sorry. How did I forget? Who wins?
I have the Australian Wimbledon double for Federer. I also have that for Pliskova as well. I know she's never done well there before, but she should be doing well there.
Yeah,
so
she
I think
should.
maybe
I mean, she had what, the quarterfinal or like fourth round last year. She should realistically she should have won it in 2017 when the draw like broke.
She's never made it past the second round, which is crazy. It should be her strongest slam because in how she played.
Yeah,
so, I think
just Pliskova things.
Yeah, I think obviously this past season it's been very good for her. It could have been better, but I think she would have learned a lot from it. So I think next year could be huge for her.
Okay. I am going, should she return, Serena Williams. But she has to return first. She had a baby and everything. But, she's playing Abu Dhabi, so I think she'll be back for, another SW title for SW. Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how she fares. She's like a big, I think, for the WTA.
Yeah, the unknown factor, but everyone's still afraid of this unknown factor because she's just that good. She was practicing when she was like 7 months pregnant, so I think she'll be fine. All right, and for the U.S. Open, which is so long from now, it's 9 months away. But who do you have?
Put down Djokovic.
Oh, so Djokovic does capture one for you.
Mm-hmm.
I say Federer captures his one on the season. Did I say Federer? No, I said. Okay, yeah, Federer will capture his title at the U.S. Open. And then for the women,
I have Serena, I believe. Yes, I do.
Okay, you want Serena for the home set. I'm going Wozniacki to capture her maiden, and I think her only Grand Slam title at the 2018 U.S. Open. To be fair, this is where she's done the best. So you can't.
Yeah, I think
it has to be. It's U.S. Open or nothing else for Wozniacki.
I think potentially she could win the Australian. I think that's going to be more difficult.
Yeah,
more likely.
Yeah. It plays slower, plays better for her. So I think Wozniacki. Okay. So breakdown. My picks for the men quickly were Djokovic, Nadal, Dimitrov, Federer. Oliver's were Federer, Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. For the women, for me, it was Pliskova, Svitolina, Serena, Wozniacki. Oliver's was Pliskova, Muguruza, Pliskova, Serena. Correct. I think. Am I correct for you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you got silent. I got scared.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. We begin with the Indian Wells for who win. Oh, so we're just gonna start. We're gonna to make this easier on ourselves. Indian Wells so we'll do all the Masters first to save us and everyone else some confusion. But Indian Wells, who wins?
I had to have Zverev down.
Oh, nice pick. I am going Jack Sock.
Ooh, interesting.
Back up his Paris title, close out 2017 with the Masters, start 2018 with the Masters. Miami.
Federer.
Yes, I've also gone Mr. Roger, and then watch him pull out of one of these events, and then watch him pull out of Miami, win Indian Wells just to troll us. Right, Oliver? All right, Monte Carlo, Nadal.
Yeah, same.
Madrid, Nadal.
Nadal.
Rome, Dominic Thiem. I knew this would happen because they're just better than everyone else on clay. Oh man, I wish grass had a Masters, but they don't. Oh, that was great. That was great. Oh my god, Nadal, Thiem. Holy shit, hockey. All right, Canada, or it'd be Toronto.
Djokovic.
Oh boy. Has Murray ever won this? I'm gonna go Murray. Cincinnati. I'm gonna go Federer. I think he comes back to Cincy and wins. You agree?
Yeah, Murray.
Oh, you're gonna go Murray. All right.
I'm gonna go.
All right. And now we move on to the Fall Masters, Shanghai.
Murray.
Going Djokovic. Bercy.
Paris. Federer.
Paris is known for a bunch surprises. I'm gonna go. Well, no, what? Let's say it. John Isner. John Isner will win Paris, guys. Not the French Open, Paris Bercy, because I think no one usually plays Paris except the guys who Paris has thrown us a bunch of surprises. I think it will this year. All right. And then the ATP Finals.
I have Djokovic down.
I also have Djokovic down. All right. Quickly, who wins the Davis Cup?
Ooh, I'm gonna plump for America.
Yeah, I'm gonna plump that you'll be wrong. Because they're playing on clay versus Serbia. If they get by that, then yeah, I'll give you.
Okay.
I'll send over 150 quid to you if United States beat Serbia on indoor clay.
Okay. I'm remembering this moment. Okay, just want to let you know that.
Watch Sock's gonna beat Djokovic in the fifth rubber, like 16-14 in the fifth set, and I'm gonna cry. All right, but so United States, okay. I'm gonna plump. I think either word's wrong. I'm gonna pick Croatia to get through, and when I think the demons of 2016 will be gone. So I will pick Croatia to get through for the Davis Cup. All right. For the women, let us begin. All right. So we are doing Premier Mandatory and Premier 5 because If we throw in every premiere there, we'll be here forever. Premier 5 in Doha.
Doha, I have Svitolina.
What's wrong with you? Stop copying me. No, I'm kidding. I've also gone for Svitolina, and I've also gone her to win the next event in Dubai as well. I've got her the Doha Dubai double.
For Dubai, I went for Pliskova.
All right. Okay, Indian Wells.
I have Wozniacki.
Oh, this is going to be tough. I have Muguruza winning Indian Wells. How about Miami? Does Konta back up her biggest title with a back-to-back, or no?
Well, I mean, she could, but I have Serena. Home tournament.
Oh, you're right.
Effectively, home tournament is the last time it's going to be played at that arena.
Yeah,
so I think it'd be
it's
special
moving
if she wins,
to the Miami Dolphins arena, which will be interesting to see how they're gonna smack a bunch of tennis courts in a football stadium. But all right, okay, Miami. Oh boy, you're like, Konta can win, but I'm not gonna pick her. I think I will go with. I'll pip for Halep to take Miami. Okay, now we move on all the way down to Madrid.
I have Muguruza in front of our home crowd.
I have Halep going back to back. And how about Rome?
For Rome, I have Halep.
Oh, for Rome, I have Svitolina going back to back. Okay. Oh, man, nothing fun on grass. Grass is the shortest season, but I think it's the funnest season. Funnest, or is it most fun? Who knows? All right, Montreal.
Halep again.
Oh, so I'm thinking I know who your world number one is when we get to there. My Montreal champion will be Wozniacki. Cincinnati.
I have Serena.
Yes, this is where I picked for Serena to win her event. Okay. Move all the way down to Wuhan.
Wuhan, I have Svitolina.
Wuhan, I'm going to go. God, who knows what 2018 will do for us? I will go for Ostapenko.
Ooh.
Yeah, guys, I'm boring on the WTA. Sorry, because, actually, yeah, I'm boring on the WTA. And then we pep for Beijing.
Beijing, I have Pliskova.
I have. Great. Who? I will go Sharapova. And then, okay, Singapore.
Singapore, I've gone for Pliskova again.
I have gone for Muguruza. And then this will be kind of tough to decide who gets to Zhuhai, but Zhuhai, if you have to throw a name out there.
Ooh. Maybe because I don't think she'll quite make it to Singapore, but I think she'll be higher up again. I'll Kerber.
Okay. I think I'll choose Petra to make it to win Zhuhai. Petra Kvitova. All right. And now, 2018 Fed Cup. Who is your Fed Cup champion?
Fed Cup is a hard one.
Yeah, you have Belarus and Germany in the first round. That is a great first round.
I think because they've come close over a couple of times over the past few years. Their big people are fit. Obviously, they're missing for Switzerland.
Ooh.
With Bencic and Basinski.
Oh, that'd be huge. I mean, I think they made a couple semifinals without them anyway. So, I am going to pip for their first round opponent, the Czech Republic. So, bragging rights to whoever wins for us out of there. All right, now we head to what all of you have been waiting for: the top 10 for each tour. Give me a second. All right, so do we want to work from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10, Oliver?
I think 10 to 1, more dramatic.
Oh, of course. Who does? And you know how much I love drama. AKA 2 pods ago, or it was last pod. It'd be 2 pods ago. This is a 2-parter. All right. Number 10 for the men.
But me,
Yes.
I have Marin Cilic.
I have gone for Jack Sock at 10. Number 9.
Kei Nishikori.
Number 9 for me will be who? Don't be different. I think number 9 will be no, it'll be Marin Cilic. Number 8 in the last qualifier to the O2.
Stan Wawrinka.
I think 8 for me will be David Goffin. Number 7.
Milos Raonic.
I've also gone for Milos at 7. 6.
Dominic Thiem.
I've gone for Dimitrov at 6. Number 5.
Sasha Zverev.
I have gone for. What have I gone for? Oh, I've gone for Murray at 5. 4.
Murray.
I've gone for. Oh boy. I will go for Federer at 4. Number 3.
Roger Federer.
I've gone for Nadal at 3. Number 2.
Novak Djokovic.
Did I say Andy yet? I've already lost track of my top 10.
I think you said Murray for 5.
Number 2. Oh boy, that leaves. Oh boy. Oh man, I'm in an interesting spot here. I think number 2. Oh boy. Then who doesn't make my top 10? Oh yeah, that'd be. I think number 2 will be Sasha. That's bold. That's bold.
Hmm.
And who's your number 2? Wait, repeat that.
My number 2 is Novak Djokovic.
Oh yeah, my number 1 is Novak, and your number 1 is
Rafa.
Oh, that is that. That's gonna be interesting. I'm interested that neither of us have gone for Del Potro in the top 10. So.
I mean, I've also not got Dimitrov and Goffin, which is probably going to bite me back on the bum at the end of the season.
But you have Nishikori and Milos, so if they're healthy, I think we split 1 and 1. I don't have Nishikori, but I have Milos. Or no, we both have Milos. I don't have Nishikori though, so I think I gotta listen back to it. I'm so lost, guys. All right, I think this is here's where the fun begins, though. WTA top 10. Oh boy. Here's a reminder of our 10 to 1 currently as it stands before we play any matches for the 2018 season. Vandeweghe, Konta, Garcia, Ostapenko, Svitolina, Venus, Pliskova, Wozniacki, Muguruza, Simona. All right. Number 10 for the WTA, Oliver.
My number 10, I have Angelique Kerber.
Oh, the comeback. My number 10 is a German, but it will be Julia Gerges, who that will be her career high. Number 9.
Caroline Garcia.
Okay, so just missing out on Singapore unless she gets in as an alternate or through injury. Number 9, I've pipped for Sloane Stevens. Number 8.
Number 8, I have Venus Williams.
Number 8, I have Christina Mladenovic. Number 7.
7, I have Joe Conta.
I also have Konta at 7. All right. Number 6.
I have Caroline Wozniacki.
I have Serena at 6. Don't see her. I see her winning, just not enough to get to number 1, even though it's very much realistic with everything going on these days. Number 5.
Simona Halep.
This is where I have Wozniacki at 5. Number 4.
Venus Svitolina.
I have. Man, this is hard. I'll have Venus above Serena at 4. Should be interesting. 3.
Interesting. Serena Williams.
3. I have gone for Simona Halep. Number 2.
Garbine Muguruza.
I've gone for 2. I should have written these down beforehand, but now I'm just flip flopping. Number 2, I have gone for Elina Svitolina, and number 1,
I have Karolina Pliskova.
did I say Pliskova already?
I don't think you
Oh.
said Pliskova, but I could be wrong.
What? Oh boy! Oh
You should have
God!
written this down.
Did you write this down?
I wrote mine down. Yeah,
Oh my goodness!
I prepared. I've got I'll show you like after the pod. I've got this whole like Google Docs document which I wrote all down last night.
Oh my God! I don't even remember if I said Pliskova. Oh God! I know Halep was 3, Svitolina was 2. I was gonna go Muguruza at 1. But then I don't think I said Carolina, who I think is going to be a tough. Okay, timeout. I'm redoing my top 10 right now, live. Kyrgyz 10. Oh God, slow 9. Mladenovic 8. Konta 7. Okay, Serena 6. Venus 5. Who did I say it for? Oh, maybe I did say Wozniacki 4. Carol. Oh no, that name is Halep. It's not funny, Oliver. Oh God, I'm in shambles. Okay, new top 10. Kyrgyz 10. Okay, Sloan's falling out. Then Kyrgyz 10. Mladenovic. Okay, everyone's just bumped down one. Kyrgyz 10. Who is my 8? Mladenovic 9. Konta 8. 7. Serena 7. Venus will go down to 6. Halep 5. Okay. Halep 5. Wozniacki 4. Muguruza 3. Wait, I'm so lost now.
I've written it down for you this time. Okay.
Okay.
So at the moment, Gerges is 10th.
Yes.
Then Mladenovic,
Yes. Yes.
Serena, Venus,
Yes.
Halep, Wozniacki, Muguruza.
Pliskova and
2 more spots.
Did I say Pliskova?
Or maybe not.
Did I say Pliskova?
No, you haven't said
Okay.
Pliskova so far.
Pliskova
on
2,
this one.
Svitolina 1. There we go. Okay. Sloane's 11, by the way. She falls to 11. She just misses out. Guys, my computer is, oh my God. I think I did write it down, but my computer's been a mess. So, oh God. Oh my goodness. I can't. This, guys, live pod drama or comedy, if you're Oliver and other listeners. Oh God. This is too good. Too good. Too good. All right. So now we move on to our awards, which I haven't written down. I'm not sure if Oliver has, but I have an idea in my head. Oh, so we'll see how this goes. All right, Oliver, who is your ATP Player of the Year?
It's a tough one, but I think I haven't got Federer ended yet, well, number one, but I have got him winning 2 slams. So I'll probably say Federer again.
Yeah, it's weird because the ATP Player of the Year is just whoever finishes world number one. So for you, it'd be Nadal. Mine would be Djokovic. So I am going Novak, but it's just weird how they do it like that, and it's not like based off the whole season.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I think it should be down to looking overall.
Yeah, because
Sometimes it's not always like Serena.
Yeah, because I've picked for what I picked for. I said Federer should have won it this year, but it went to Nadal. So all right. So who is your ATP Breakthrough Player of the Year?
I'm gonna go for Hyun Chung. I think he's someone who's primed to have a big season.
That was my pick. No, I mean he dazzled us in Milan. He just like I don't think he dropped more than 2 sets in a match. He was like absolutely stunning in Milan. So I think you're right there. I think he's primed for getting into the top 30, maybe even top 25. All right. Who is your comeback player of the year? I think we have an idea who could be favorites with Djokovic, Nishikori, Murray, Raonic, etc. Wawrinka.
Yeah, it could be any of them. I think I'd probably pump for. I want to say Djokovic, but at the same time, he's only 12th. He hasn't fallen down that far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it stands ninth.
I think I'll stick with Djokovic, but I'm not sure if it really counts as a comeback.
I will.
Federer.
Yeah. Let's see. I think comeback player of the year. I think it'll be K. I think he'll get back up. He's not in my personal top 10, but I think to end the season, but I think he does. If he does well, I think it'll be him. It'll be him or Milos for me, to be honest. Yeah, I switch it. It's gonna be Milos. I see Milos is ranked a couple spots lower. I think Milos gets to the O2. So yeah, it'll be Milos for me. Come back. Your player of the year. What was the other one I said? There's one more award.
You said something that disappointment.
Oh yeah, yes, the biggest disappointment of 2018. So not an award.
Yeah, I think maybe Dimitrov.
No, don't do this to me. He's winning Wimbledon.
No, I think maybe he'll struggle to back it up, just like he found the 14. Maybe I could be wrong. He's probably going to win Wimbledon now because you said it, but just a plump.
I think my biggest disappointment will be. I think it'd be Del Potro. I think he might. Yeah, he's played so well. Like obviously, great story from all his injuries, but I think we will expect him in the top 10, and I think I don't think he cracks it this year. Personally, he's in neither of our top 10s. So
he's a hard one to predict. He didn't really play that well up until the US Open last season. Still out of London at the end, though, because he ended it strongly.
Yeah, it's an interesting, but I think he'll be. I mean, would he be? I mean, another like biggest disappointment could be someone like I don't know, would be Burdick falling even further or something like that, or maybe Luca Puig not like winning as much as we expect him to. Like, there's not much like to be unless Nadal or Federer, or like one of these guys in the top 15 fall off the face of the earth. It's kind of hard to call right now.
Yeah, you can never really tell what exactly is going to happen.
Yeah. All right. WTA. All right. Your player of the year. I think considering your ATV formula, I'm thinking it's going to be the same person who won 2 slams.
Yeah, I'm saying, I mean, I have Pliskova winning 2 slams and finishing the year as well, number 1, which, if that happens to anyone, it's hard to argue against. I'm going to go for Pliskova.
I'm going for Svitolina. She's my world number 1. And I have her also winning her maiden slam title at the French and winning a couple of the year-end Premier 5s and mandatories. All right. Your comeback player of the year.
I'm going to go for Belinda Bencic. I know technically her comeback started towards the end of last season, but I think she's going to make big strides up the rankings in WTA Tour level tournaments this year. And I think she'll probably potentially be back top 30, maybe even top 20.
Oh, fair pick. I was going to say Azarenka. Once she comes back, I think she'll be back in. I know, we know her talent. Former world number 1. Former 2-time Australian Open champion. I mean, I think once she comes back, she'll get after shaking off the dust. I think she'll get rolling. I think she'll get back maybe into the top 40 or 50. So I think, and considering how far she's fallen, I believe in like the 200s and the 300s right now, I think it'll be Azarenka as my comeback player of the year. Who is your breakthrough player of the year?
Ooh, it's a tricky one. I haven't written the awards down. You've caught me out there.
Yeah. Now who's unprepared? Actually, I said I haven't written them down either, but I know who in my head I have.
Maybe I know. I feel it's Sophie Kenin reached the 3rd round US Open, faced Sharapova.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she's 19.
Yeah, 19. I think she could, or maybe. Oh, actually, maybe she's going to be honourable mention, but I'm going to go for Sabalenka. Actually.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Oh, if we had cameras, you'd see me going crazy because Kenin was my pick. I was like, no, he took my pick. It's like, oh, yes, but yes, Sophia Kenin's my pick. I think it'll be big things. It'll be another American woman into the top 100. It'll be like American women's tennis, like way far better than the men. Men suck. I don't know. But honorable mention to Destiny Ayava, 17-year-old Australian Open wild card. I think big things could be expected from her this year too. And then our biggest disappointment. Okay, sorry. Go. Continue.
No, don't worry.
All right.
It's fine.
Biggest disappointment then. Oh, yeah. Disappointment. Unless, did we do comeback player? No, we have not done comeback. Oh, there we did. Yeah.
We have done.
Oh, God. I'm such a mess. I'm just hungry, guys. Okay. Biggest disappointment.
Difficult one because there's a lot of people that could have a disappointing year compared to last year. I think for Sloane Stephens though.
Oh, I mean, I don't see her winning a slam, but I see her just outside the top 10. Remember that, guys. This pod's a mess. Just outside the top 10. But I'll go for her compatriot Coco Vandeweghe. I think it'll be
painful.
Now she's going to win 3 slams. No, I think it's just going to be so hard. Like, what was her record? It was absolutely astounding in ITF events. It was. She didn't lose a Fed Cup match. She made semi. Okay, first round of the French. Semi, first round, quarter, semi. Like, in the slams. Like, barring that first round, that's so difficult to back up. Like, I know Pat Cash has worked wonders with her, but like, I think it's just going to be too difficult to back up especially if she's playing 500 level tennis at the tour level events. She only made one final this year in Stanford, so I think it's too difficult to back up 3 big results and then a Fed Cup title.
Mm.
think she
I think the
falls.
problem for her is that he has big points to defend right at the beginning of the season in Australia.
Yeah.
The issue.
Yeah, I think she falls down back to like the 30s, maybe even 30 or the 40s. I think she won't be in the top 10. She's nowhere near my top 10. And I'm a huge Coco Vandeweghe person, so. All right. So those are our biggest disappointments. Okay, so something we wanted to do and get more involved in. This is our fantasy tennis corner. Is talk about fantasy tennis league. So obviously everyone knows about fantasy footy or like fantasy Premier League, fantasy football here in America. That's huge. Fantasy basketball, fantasy this, that, whatever. But fantasy tennis is something different. But kind of like fantasy Premier League, you have $100 million budget. You have to pick a team which has a captain and other players and a bench. So I wrote an article on this, on Valve USA, saying that there are different strategies, and Oliver and I have plumped for similar strategies with an even balance of ATP and WTA players. So I'm going to reveal my team right now. So my bench is absolutely irrelevant, minus Destiny Ayava, who has the wild card into Australia, just in case someone pulls out. But here's my team: captain Rafael Nadal. Yes, risky pick, having pulled out of 2 events already, but I think he'll still do well. Key player, so captain gets an extra 50% of the points of what they earn, and then key players, they get a fifth of the points of what they earn. So they get 20% more points. Captain gets 50% more points. So my 3 key players are Murray, Djokovic, and Goffin. And then my other 4 players on the team are Dominic Thiem, Alina Svitolina, Maria Sharapova, and Belinda Bencic. Oliver, what does your team look like?
Currently, I have my captain as Novak Djokovic, which is obviously maybe a risky pick now. I might have to look back and change that if his injury concern does start to affect him more than it has. Pulled out of an exhibition, but we don't know what else could happen. Key players, I have 3 WTA players. I have Caroline Wozniacki, Julia Gerges, and the home player, Ashley Barty.
Oh, wow.
Team
Nice.
players. With my team players, I have another home player in Daria Gavrilova. And I also have 3 ATP players who I'm interested to see how they fare this year. I have Damir Zumhur, who finished this season so strongly. I also have Hyun Chung, obviously me and Noel both mentioned earlier on, as hopefully having a big breakthrough this year. And finally, Denis Shapovalov.
Oh, so you've gone the cheaper starting lineup, and then I'm guessing. Do you have any notable names on your bench then?
I have Destiny Ayava, like you. I also have Ekaterina Makarova, Frances Tiafoe, Belinda Bencic, and Eugenie Bouchard amongst them.
Oh, so you've gone for the playable bench, which is not a bad strategy considering a lot of those players are lower in the top 100, so they'll be playing in a lot of tournaments. So good for you on that. Not like me trying to put all my eggs in the Australian Open basket. I think the key thing for us and then for all fantasy tennis players, though, is going to be the week after the Australian, where no ATP players are playing, but there's the event in Hong Kong and St. Petersburg. So that'll be all WTA players. So it'll be interesting how we do our transfers, because transfers, you have 72 transfers for the season, and you can use up to max 3 transfers a week. So, and looks like Oliver is set with his WTA players. So, so yeah, it'll be interesting how people do it, and then how you start with $100 million, but it's kind of like a stock market system where if players are doing well and performing well, stocks their prices go up. If players are not performing well, their prices go down. So obviously buying and selling value is going to be a lot different. But yes, that is our fantasy tennis teams. We'll be mentioning our fantasy tennis league teams throughout the season. And so, yes, that is our 2018 awards and prediction top 10 predictions pod. I am your host, Noel Alberto. You can find me on Twitter at NotFirstNoel. Oliver, where can we find you on Twitter?
At Oliver DJ 1998.
Very good. And you can find the Twitter pod at On The Line Pod. We're very excited to get 2018 rocking and rolling. These pods, part 1 will be up first, obviously. They'll be up before the season starts. I'm not sure if it'll be before the season starts in Australia, but yes, they'll be up sooner rather than later. But yes, we hope you all have a happy new year, and we'll be back next week to do a little review of the first week's events and preview the following week's events in Sydney, Auckland, and wherever else need be. All right. Have a good day, everyone.